Typically, LinkedIn is very safe. What's your take on being safe, too safe?
I think like B2B in general just does not like to take a risk because they all want to be for everybody. And I just realized, can I swear on this podcast?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, great. It was a it moment for me because I was like,
I want to talk about the idea of a content series. I love how you guys are like, have your content series, you found a spot in the market. Now you guys are launching a second content show, which I think is really interesting. What is this and why?
So when we were first talking about a concept for a show to do together, we were like, okay, we could do the thing that everybody's doing, which is we'll do this podcast about the thing that we're doing for work, and then companies will want to
Shots fired.
Because ultimately, yes, we like landing pages and LinkedIn ads. The reality is a lot of that is going to be automated, whatever. You're going to be left with brand. You're going to be left with things like this. People are not going to want to listen to a podcast with two robots talking to each other. They like the unfiltered, unedited.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the EventShark podcast. We are live right now. We're actually not live because it's recorded. We are at Drive 2025, ExitFive's annual marketing conference for B2B marketers. We are joined by Tas Bober. She is a content creator, landing page expert. She's a co-host of a podcast called Notorious B2B with Tim Davidson. Hilarious, funny podcast breaking down the news of LinkedIn, the news of B2B.
Drama. Yeah. You know what's funny? Notorious B2B is actually not that edgy. It's edgy for B2B, but it's actually quite tepid for like TikTok or, you know, just like any regular type stuff.
You know what we need is Notorious B2B After Dark.
The real.
It's like what's that show? Bridgerton?
Yeah, Bridgerton.
Yeah, like the lady, whatever. Like we need that paper. It has to be like like a pseudonym, right? Because you have your faces on Notorious B2B, but if there's like a gossip bag,
like an anonymous, like Gossip Girl XOXO, and we don't know which B2B marketer is reporting on that stuff. Oh, that would be such a good one. I mean, people would know it's me, but it would be such a good one.
There's an opportunity there.
I mean, sometimes when there's trending topics on LinkedIn, I'll actually go check out the podcast, see what you guys are talking about, give them the real sauce. And even though you say it's not edgy, for B2B, it is a little edgy.
Yes.
Typically, LinkedIn is very safe. It could be very safe on the platform. What's your take on that? Being safe, too safe?
People are very safe, but I think that I have made a name for myself by not being safe and just trolling mainly in the comments and things like that. I will say kind of unhinged stuff. You take a big risk with that. And I think like B2B in general just does not like to take a risk because they all want to be for everybody. I want to sell to everybody. My TAM is everybody. And I just realized very early on, and it wasn't strategic. It was just kind of a... Can I swear on this podcast?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, great. It was a fuck it moment for me because I was like, my posts are very businessy and tactical, and I'll throw in a bro and a dude and stuff like that. The comments where I was like, I just kept seeing all of the same shit, and I was like, I'm just gonna troll this person. I'm just done. I'm over it, you know? And sometimes it's like, I'd hit see more, and it's just like, you know, it could have been a blog post, but you're making it a LinkedIn post, and I don't have time to read it, but I want to support this person. So I'm like Liam Maroney. So he does the video in the woods and he's just talking. Well, I don't listen to every single thing that he posts, but I'm like, one day he did it in his house. I'm like, dude, I can't listen to you if you're not outside, you know? And I didn't listen at all to his entire post, but I showed up, I commented, I supported him, gave everyone a giggle, and sometimes it's a little bit of that fun element. Is that for everybody? No, but I'll never know because the companies that don't want to work with me will never reach out to me. And the ones that do, they do.
Fair
so,
enough.
You know, you just got to take that risk of like, I'm going to isolate a group, but then I'm going to attract other people and they're going to be very into it.
If you try to be everything for everybody, yeah, you're going to be nothing for no one. One thing I really respect and appreciate about the Notorious B2B podcast is y'all are one of the very few podcasts in the B2B space where like there's research required, right? Like you have show notes and you're covering timely news topics. Whereas I feel like for most podcasts in the space, it's an interview style. You got a list of questions or like key points to hit on, but y'all are actually doing research.
Tim's pulling the weight on that, right?
Hell no. Okay. This bro, seriously. Okay. So Notorious B2B is more my baby. And this is where I guess we can say we're starting a second podcast. And he's very excited about that because that's going to be more his baby. With Notorious B2B, the research it sounds like we put in a ton of research. We don't actually. I have a few like custom GPTs that will scrape the internet, get me some stories, but then I always have to verify the sources because GPT loves to make juicy shit up. It's like Tas wants this juicy stuff. We're going to be like, Salesforce is no longer a company. And it'll say Financial Times. And I'm like, what? And I'll hit it and it'll say, 404 error. And I'm like, okay, then you're just making shit up, bro. Yeah. So you do have to verify against that. And then what we do, where the juiciest stuff happens, we send each other DMs of posts every day, multiple times a day, because he's seeing something different in the feed. I'm seeing something different. We're sending each other different posts that we see. And then the third thing that's happening, which I want more of, is that people are submitting stuff to us. So we have a few people who are sending us stuff every week. Like, Tas, did you see this? Is this worthy of being on Notorious B2B? And we are just like friggin' loving that part of it as well.
So what is that criteria then?
Of what makes the story.
Yeah, like what makes something a good fit to be covered?
Sometimes, so I would classify us as edutainment, right? Like, that's why I'm like, it's not super spicy. We don't dog on everybody. We'll dog on like shitty marketing tactics, like comment gating, we're like, okay, guys, like give it a freaking rest, right?
Comment Notorious for our free guide.
Hey, we were supposed to bring swag here, but it didn't happen. So yeah, let these guys know.
With stickers?
Notorious. There was,
is it part of the bit?
No. It's so good. I'll show you guys the designs later. But it's like a t-shirt. And you know those old 90s vintage ones where you got like Tupac and Biggie and it's it goes Notorious B.I.G. and you've got all of them like the montage. We did that, but with all B2B CEOs. And we're like Notorious B2B. And it's like, Benioff and like,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so we did one of those. And then the other one is basically a CEO with a crown like Biggie, but he's got a big gold chain and it says Leeds with a Z. So like we've got that. We've got
the merch line.
Yeah, we've got the merch
fleek.
line all figured out. We were supposed to bring them to Drive, and then the company was like, "I'm backed up." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, comment Notorious. We will send you stuff, and that's how I'll know you listen to this podcast. So we send each other stuff if we think it's even remotely coverable, and then we decide whether we're going to do it or not. And actually, if you look at our episode lists, we have like a big Notorious B2B doc, and we do the episodes. We actually have a huge backlog of stuff, and we decide very much on the fly sometimes, like, no, we're not going to cover that, that's dumb, or it's not hot enough, or if we have time, we have filler content. It really depends on how much time we spend on the biggest story of the week. But one thing we love to do is just like talk about crazy campaigns or a new concept, that kind of comes out of somewhere, and then a story is kind of tied to it. So very much like the talk we just had with Harry, where there's conflict in the story, always adds a little thing. We love we're big employee advocates. So when the employee comes up on top, we'll share wholesome stories too. It's not always like the terrible.
The drama.
Yeah, it's not always the drama. So it's just things like that. Honestly, I wish I could say there was a strategy. It's very gut feel. And like, really, is it boring or is it not boring? And I feel like Tim and I are good gauges of whether something is boring or not.
Yeah, I want to talk about the idea of a content series, because me and Ding, we create content for a lot of companies, and love how you guys are like, have your content series. You found a spot in the market. No one's really covering these topics. Like, let's create something around that. Start to build an audience around that. Now you guys are launching a second content show, which I think is really interesting. Yeah. Like, you decided not to fold it under Notorious B2B. Like, let's do a whole new thing. Why? What is this and why?
So when we were first talking about a concept for a show to do together, it was one of two things. We were like, okay, we could do the thing that everybody's doing, which is we'll do this podcast about the thing that we're doing for work, and then companies will want to
Shots fired.
Because the B2B podcast
drink some water.
strategy. Yeah. Gulp, 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 gulp. I love you guys.
Today's episode is brought to you by Gallon Jug of Water.
Let's just do a quick ad break for ExitFive.com. Are you a member? You're a member of the ExitFive community?
I am one of the OGs. I call myself a mascot. So much so that people message me about logistics around the event. And Matt is always like, can you please tell them to ask me? I'm like, no, 6 people have asked me about the hike. What shoes do they need to wear for the hike? I don't know, but I love ExitFive, big stan.
What's your favorite part about being an ExitFive? Favorite part about ExitFive? Or, is there any opportunity, things that really stuck out with you with like talking to other marketers in ExitFive that helped you out? Is there any like?
Honestly, it's so funny. My husband's like, oh, this is great. You're going to go hang out with all these B2B marketers and like, maybe like do some business. I'm like, yeah, definitely going for business here, business there. I'll be businessing all over the place. I promise. I'm coming to hang out with my homies. Some of my best friends like ever I've met through the community, through like going to these events, meeting up. Drive was so great. Last year was like the OG group summer camp vibes. I've been looking forward to it all year. And I'm just happy to hang out with people. And now I'm excited that it's more than 2 days. We have excursions like hiking and a boat party. Like, yeah, definitely business is,
right.
What I like.
Back to the pod.
Sorry.
So, content shows.
Yeah.
New show.
So this one is called The Marketer's Exit. This is the name that we ended on, and it's actually really funny. Why? We did a lot of like marketing founder mode and marketing founder brand and like all of this shit. You want to know the sly reason why we chose The Marketer's Exit? Dave's going to fucking love this. Basically, if someone searches ExitFive, they're going to see, Marketer's Exit. What's this about? But as we know, the last few years, lots of people have gone out, started their stuff on their own, right? Either fractional, consulting, they're in-house, they're either laid off or company's not doing well and they're trying to come up with other, sources of revenue. A lot of my networking calls are really around in-house people saying, well, how do I do what you're doing? Or how do I pick, or someone's already out and they're like, I don't know how to pick a niche. How did you do that? And I felt like I was telling the same story over and over and over again. And then Tim comes from an agency background. I come from a full in-house background. And we have a group chat, him, me, Kaylee Edmondson, and we are constantly firing in that group chat things that we're trying, what we're doing. And it's so funny because he is agency background with a LinkedIn ads niche. I'm in-house background with the landing page niche. And then Kaylee is actually broad demand gen, fractional demand gen. And we are all coming at it from different angles and, sharing all this tactical advice. And he's like, hey, okay, I'm having X issue with this. How do you guys tackle it? Oh, hey, should I increase the price with this client? So all those conversations that are happening, we're like, fuck it. We should tell the people. We should tell everybody. And we have a whole episode list already with like, obviously our backstories, but VAs, should you have one? How are we using AI? How should you price yourself? Should you go with a niche? How did we pick our niche? There's just so many angles to do that and giving marketers a second avenue, whether they want to go out on their own, they want to do a side hustle, whatever they want to do. And I was like, Tim, we're going to have another podcast that no company is going to want to sponsor because we're like, okay, we're going to cover all the drama with the companies on one. And on the other one, we're going to tell you to leave your companies. And he's like, are you freaking kidding? Like, companies that are smaller SaaS like Loom, Figma that we like use a lot, just like Toggle, big nerd for Toggle. Those are all companies that could help. VA agencies or companies like
a Monday.com.
Airtable. I use Airtable religiously. So like there are a lot of opportunities there. And essentially we kind of want a TNT media network kind of thing.
TNT. Tim and Tas.
Yeah. Little media network and do a couple of these because ultimately, yes, we like landing pages and LinkedIn ads. The reality is a lot of that is going to be automated, whatever. You're going to be left with brand. You're going to be left with things like this. People are not going to want to listen to a podcast with two robots talking to each other. They like the unfiltered, unedited, like, let's just chat about things and they want to hear from real humans. And so Tim and I really want to just lean into the personality and brand, which AI can absolutely not replicate with us. So that's it.
That's something that me and Ding have been talking about. There's been a huge just migration of in-house people to going outhouse or
outhouse. That's what I call it.
Outhouse.
Yeah.
Outhouse.
In-house to outhouse.
Because we're the shit. That's
sales rapper right there.
Oh, that was good.
No, I love the marketer's exit angle. Also, it's funny because the whole SEO washing has been in the news recently, right? Like Beyonce with the song Bodyguard to cover up the fact that she had an affair with her bodyguard, or like Dubai Chocolate, right? The viral TikTok chocolate brand. I think with the but the marketer's exit, because
he's doing the weave right now.
Yeah.
Marketer's exit, best exit. When I first saw that, I said, "Wow, what a great exit!" Brexit. You know, because
He's
everyone's
bringing
always
it back. He's bringing it back.
bringing it back. I'm landing the plane. The plane is landed. All right. So everyone's talking about AI's replacing jobs. AI's replacing jobs. But we are we're friends with a lot of vendors and service agencies and freelancers. And what we're seeing over and over and over again is it's not the AI that's replacing the jobs. It's fractionals, agencies, and freelancers using AI that are replacing full-time employees.
Wow.
Right? Because you could go with AI, you could generate way more results within a fraction of the time. Fractional. And it's funny because there's that stigma with fractional means like you're like looking, you're interviewing, right? They're like fractional CMO. Okay, they're interviewing, right? But that's really not true because like the people we know, they're killing it, right? The agencies we're seeing like so many vendors are hyper growth right now because I think you do the math at the company level. It's like, damn, we got to pay these people like 6 figures plus a year, all the benefits, equity, all this shit. The math just doesn't necessarily math if you could get 80, 90, 100+% of the results by working with an agency. I think there's a phenomenon of career progression as well. Is that it's not necessarily a linear up career progression for especially in marketing. Right, because you have people coming from all these different individual disciplines under the marketing umbrella. Not everyone can be CMO.
Yes.
Right. So what's one way for someone that's very specialized, amazing at something, to have career progression, deliver more value, have a greater impact, see more personal upside, is to go do the marketer's exit.
The marketer's exit.
Marketer's exit.
Oh, it sounds so good. Yeah, and you know what's funny? When I was in-house, I was very wrapped up in the promotion cycles, right? Like, I'm going to do everything my boss wants me to do so that I can, like, climb this ladder and then get upset when I wouldn't get the promotion. It's so nice in that sense where I can just release that and be like, okay, I don't need that. I can just focus on the good stuff and learning one thing really well. And then, like, I was going to make a joke. And I really do need to post it. I'll post it in March, remind me. But it's like, hey, it's annual review season. I was okay, but now I'm promoting myself to senior CEO. Because I was like so into like just basically trolling myself. I'm just really
CEO.
Happy. Yeah, as a new position, senior CEO.
My first company ever, I was the intern. I promoted myself to the chief marketing intern.
Yeah.
The CMI.
CMI.
I printed out a little name card, so it's all about the self-promotion.
Yes.
Self job.
Yeah,
role.
that's a crazy
Creation.
moniker indeed.
I realize it's a break right now, so we probably should wrap this podcast up.
Okay. Yeah, because if I don't get ice cream, I'm going to flip this table.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So get her a hat, get her a jug of water, and some Ben & Jerry's.
Yeah. Am I picking a hat on the thing?
You're
Pick a
picking a
hat.
hat on the thing.
Okay, my
you got
husband-
other colors too.
I know, but my husband wears all the swag, all the marketing swag, because I'm desensitized, and he wants the camo, which is actually not the one I thought he'd pick.
Grab it.
We're doing it.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Hey,
thanks for joining us. The Notorious B2B, the marketer's exit. Go check it out. And then where can we find for the landing pages?
LinkedIn, please. You can also go to thescrollab.com. I have a bunch of free goodies there, but come to LinkedIn because that's where I'm the most fun.
You gotta check out Taz, TAS.
Bober, Bober, like sober.
Boom.
Boom. All right. This episode has been brought to you by ExitFive. Shout out to Dave Gerhardt. Big fan of rap. Shout out to
All right,
JC.
hey, we already gave them a shout out. We'll see you next episode. Thank you.